College Success Arizona presents Meet Our Team. Each month, College Success Arizona is featuring a team member and employee, and this month we feature Nicole Santarsiero.
So my role at College Success Arizona is I'm the office assistant, so I do man the front desk, and I'm part of various responsibilities. I do play a supportive role for all of our different programs. I've been helping out with e-mentoring, working on some text videos that we send out for that. I've also started a blog and just a few different things around our different programs.
And how did you come to be associated with College Success Arizona?
So I actually moved here from LA most recently and was looking for a nonprofit in the Phoenix area that focused on education. So I mainly was looking at job boards. I think I ended up finding them on the Arizona Alliance for Nonprofits website and ended up applying for the position that was posted, and that's how I came across them.
And what is the best thing about working with your job or having access working with the students?
Sure. I think the best thing for me is knowing that I'm part of a greater end goal here. And, I don't always get to work directly with the students considering my role, but I do recognize that I'm part of the team. And I think being a part of this organization that creates a channel for students to pursue their dreams and actually make those become a reality is something that means a lot to me and, makes me feel like we're working towards a greater purpose there. And I feel like, especially in Arizona, there are a lot of high schoolers that don't always feel like college is within reach. And so being a part of an organization that actually helps students make college accessible and be able to complete that is huge. And I think it's something that's very important, especially in this state.
And we hear a lot these days about improving Arizona's college attainment rate. Why do you feel that that's so important?
Kind of in relation to what I just said, I think the attainment rate is huge. Right now, I feel like there's so many barriers for students to be able to kind of reach that goal and pursue a higher education. And I think being a part of breaking down those barriers will, in fact, increase the attainment rate. And it's all about students deserving the right to pursue their dreams. And I think by making college more accessible, students are encouraged to pursue the jobs and goals that they want in life. And, overall, that helps the state as a whole and just our overall economy.
And looking at Arizona of tomorrow, do you have a vision for the future of the state?
I would love to see higher education be attainable for anyone who wants to pursue that. And, even apart from college, just even certificates and trade schools, I would love to see anyone who wants to pursue something higher than just high school be able to have that ability without those barriers. So I think I am optimistic that this might happen. Well, I hope it does, but I think especially with our efforts of Achieve 60 that are happening and seeing different organizations members work together as an alliance and really work towards this goal, I think we're going to see a lot of improvement in that area and, really help students achieve that more so in the future.
If you had a message for a student just beginning their college career, what would that message be?
My message to a student would be to not be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone. I think I definitely pushed myself a lot in college, and it helped me so much. Even now, college is a time where you're presented with a multitude of life experiences and new things all the time. And, sometimes it's easier and more comfortable to take a step back and just stick to what you know. But in the end, you'll learn so much more if you just push yourself and, help with your own self-discovery and just to gain more confidence in the whole process.
And where did you grow up, and what did you graduate with and from in college?
Sure. So I actually grew up just outside Hartford, Connecticut. Most of my family still lives there. And for undergrad, I studied at Stonehill College, which is about a half hour south of Boston in Massachusetts. And then for graduate school, I went to University of Massachusetts, Boston. And I graduated with a master's in business administration for my master's degree. And for undergraduate, I studied double major in Spanish and religious studies.
And what is your career history thus far?
My career history is a little bit all over the place. Right after college, I actually went to Costa Rica for a year to volunteer as a volunteer coordinator at a high school. So I was working directly with students there and planning different trips for them. Then when I was in grad school, I was a research assistant for a marketing professor And then my most recent job prior to college success was working as a project manager for a digital production company that developed websites and apps.
What was your first or most interesting job?
Ooh, my most interesting job would be going a little bit back, but it was at a French bakery and restaurant, and it was pretty fun. Everyone that worked there, most of my coworkers were actually from France, so it was pretty authentic. And I worked in the office there as administrator, and it was neat. I got to see a little bit of everything. And during the day, it was all French pastries and croissants, and then at night, it turned into a pretty pristine restaurant with all kinds of seafood dishes and pasta, and it was pretty fun.
And looking at your hobbies and interests, do you have a favorite pastime?
Ooh, I don't know about favorite, but I've always loved arts and crafts, painting, building things. Yeah, pretty much anything related to arts.
And do you have a Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter social media accounts, or all of the above, none of the above?
I have Facebook and Instagram.
And do you have a guilty pleasure?
Well, I have a food that's a guilty pleasure, and that would be ice cream. I can't always say no to that. I love ice cream. I probably eat it almost every day.
Now, we gave you a break with 3 or 4 easy questions, light questions. Now another one that's a little more serious. What is your proudest moment?
My proudest moment. So it's kind of, I guess it's more than just a moment, but I would say the thing that I'm most proud about was when I decided to study abroad. I was kind of terrified to do it, and I ended up studying abroad in Costa Rica and knew very little Spanish going into it. It was really terrifying, and when I talked about stepping outside of the comfort zone, I think that's something that really applied to me in that moment, because I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know what bus to take or how to talk to the bus driver, and so really going through that for a few months helped me really become resilient and gain confidence. And in the end, I learned Spanish and was totally fine. But I think just being immersed in a completely different culture and being able to succeed there was a pretty proud moment.